Cubs and Marlins play today, 1:20 at Wrigley Field. We're going to have that watch party for you at 1:15. Big news yesterday, though, was the roster moves. The Cubs bringing back Jameson Taillon from rehab. He's ready to go today. And Patrick Wisdom, who was blistering baseballs in Iowa. And Tommy Birch, who we just had on the channel earlier this week, said it was the most impressive rehab he's seen. So we're going to talk about that, the watch party. We've got Cade Horton, who we interviewed, and we'll be putting that out for you as well. All that right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, and let's talk some Cubs baseball, everyone. Here's your invitation. What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Cubs Baseball channel. It is a pleasure to have you guys here. And don't forget, I'm Matt Broadcaster Mick on the socials. All right, let's get right into it. The roster move, and I know that you've probably seen this by now. Jameson Taillon officially called up, and he was there. I mean, we knew he was coming. But they made the roster move, and also Patrick Wisdom, which we kind of alluded to the other day, that he was on his way to Chicago. He grabbed his bats and left Iowa. And now we know what the move is, and that is that Taillon activated, right, off of the IL to pitch today. Really was supposed to pitch last night, but there was rain. And then Patrick Wisdom back and Miles Mastrobuoni sent to the minor leagues. Now, I wonder if that can change, right, because there is a roster move that could happen tomorrow with the doubleheader makeup, right? The day-night doubleheader that the Cubs will play on Saturday. You're supposed to, if you get sent down, I think you're supposed to sit 10 days. But I don't know that that really applies if there's a doubleheader. I just don't know. So one way or the other, the Cubs and the Marlins will make up the game on Thursday, Saturday, and it'll be, a day-night deal. I like those day-night doubleheaders. But let's talk about what we got here with both of these guys. Jameson Taillon was a Cubs starter last year. They paid him pretty big money to come to town. He was 8-10 last year with a 4.84 ERA. I've talked about it before, very inconsistent. We saw the best of him against his old team, the Yankees. We saw the worst of him quite a few times last year. Was actually doing better towards the end of the season. But right now, the Cubs need starting pitching, and it would be nice for him to kind of step up and look like he did in 2022 for the Yankees. Remember where he was 14-5? He did have a 3.91 ERA, but he's in that tough division. And also 2018, remember him with the Pirates? He had 14 wins. He including a couple complete games. He was 14-10 that year and had a 3.20 ERA. So he's someone that you would really like to see come in and help out. Now, I don't know how many pitches he's going to be slated for. His last start in Iowa, he didn't get over 80 pitches. And then he threw a bullpen. Craig Counsell said, hey, I really want him to get up to 100 pitches, but that was before we started dealing with all of these injuries. And so, we'll see what that looks like in the game today, right? So Jameson Taillon returns, and then there's Patrick Wisdom. Wisdom, who had a back issue, just like Taillon did, returns to the Cubs. And this year in spring training, he was knocking the cover off the ball. 375 average. Remember that walk-off home run? He had 2 home runs and 6 batted in his 32 games. And it just looked like to me that, how much can you tell from spring training? But it looked like he was really locked in. I mean, he was making a lot of hard contact. I saw him play on one of the backfields, and he was just ripping the ball. And then in Iowa, he played 9 games in Iowa, and he had 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in, and he was like Ted Williams. He hit 407, and they were probably like, we need to get this guy up there. He also had 4 doubles. And scored 9 runs. So the Cubs make the move. They send Miles Mastrobuoni down. Miles Mastrobuoni, has been kind of their utility guy. He's a better defender than Wisdom, but Wisdom gives you that punch. And so I got the feeling that Master Boney was going to be the odd man out when I heard Taylor McGregor start to talk about the fact that he only had like 14 at bats the other game against Arizona. And I kind of felt like that was telegraphing the move that was coming. So, I don't know if that was inadvertent or not, but I certainly got that feeling when that happened. And then Hayden Wesneski, you figure he's going to be the guy just because he pitched 4 innings against the Diamondbacks. You were going to have to kind of keep him out of action for a while anyway. I mean, it's not quite a start, but maybe, you almost look that direction. And right now the Cubs need guys to help out, right? So you're not going to send back Colton Brewer, who you just called up. You want him to pitch and give you some innings as well. And all those extra inning games in Arizona, the game where it was like a slugfest, you could use some arms. So Wesneski didn't get sent down because he did anything wrong. As a matter of fact, Craig Counsell called it the best relief appearance of the season. But with that said, he's the guy that is being optioned. Now, something could happen with the roster, as we mentioned, for the doubleheader on Saturday. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now, I was paying attention to it, and I honestly, when they made the rotation and Kyle Hendricks' name was in there, I figured that, okay, they're probably not going to make a move on him yet. And he's frustrated. We're frustrated. I think everyone is, because they want to see him succeed. And it has been an historically bad start to the season. I mean, to the point where he's given up more earned runs than any other Cubs starter has since they've been keeping stats, right? But I don't know enough about, pitching to tell you what's going on, other than what you hear, JD on the broadcast talk about, and what you hear other people that were pitchers talk about. And it just seems like he's misfiring on some pitches. And you wonder if that is just, because of rust. Maybe he's historically a slow starter at the beginning of the season anyway, or if it's past his time. Is he going to figure it out, right? And I certainly hope that he does. But if I'm the Cubs, I've got to, for the team, start to really get impatient with all of these runs that are scoring when he's out there, because it's tough to win ball games when he's pitching because so many runs are crossing the plate. And when you don't throw hard and you miss, it's easy. I mean, they're going to hit the ball hard. But I'm still pulling for him. I hope he figures it out. But honestly, I was watching to see if the Cubs made a move there. Maybe, would you have kept Wesneski and put Hendricks down in the minor leagues, or, a rehab or something? Maybe he's feeling something in the shoulder or something. I don't know. But if he doesn't figure it out soon, every time he pitches and you give up 5 or 6 runs or 7 runs or whatever it is, you're watching to see when that time comes. And being the last guy on the 2016 World Series team to play for the Cubs is, it's such a big deal to me. But at the same time, it's a competitive sport, and you've got to have your best out there. So he's still in there, and he's still slated to start against the Marlins, and we'll see what he does. And honestly hope that it all works out for him. Now, I got a chance to talk to Cade Horton today. I'm going to throw that interview up on the channel. You guys make sure that you check that out. Appreciate all of you guys as well for being here. And, and we're going to have Matt Shaw coming up as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun as we talk to some of the young prospects. Horton, I think, is one of the great prospects that the Cubs have had in a long time, pitching wise. And so, talk to him about what that feels like, how he deals with expectations, what he's working on right now. And so make sure that when that comes out, that you check it out. Cubs and Marlins today. That's a 1:20 Central Time game, and it's another one of our Friday watch parties, right? So we'll be on at 1:15 Central Time. That'll be Ant and me, and we want you guys to be there as well. We'll watch the game together, talk about the action, and hopefully see the Cubs get it done. Jameson Taillon against A.J. Puck. Puck is 0-3 with a 5.91 ERA. The Marlins have been one of the worst teams in baseball, but thankfully they have the White Sox to be the worst team in baseball. So they're the second worst team in baseball, but they're coming to town, and this is a series that the Cubs really need to jump on them and take care of business, right? Jameson Taillon returns. I don't know how many pitches he's going to throw. I don't think that he's going to be near 100 when they take him out. Could be, you hope that he goes out there and gets the job done and throws strikes and does all of that stuff and gives the Cubs a chance to win. All right, thanks for hanging out. Again, appreciate all of you guys. Like and subscribe. Let's talk some Cubs baseball tomorrow, and let's have a good time on the watch party. See you then. Really today, the watch party. See you today at 1:15. Be back.